This is the first episode that we're uploading in its entirety directly to this platform.
What are we talking about today?
So, I recently got really invested into the wonderful world and very strange world of NFTs. And I want to say this right off the bat, that it's like, I'm not somebody who, I don't have any cryptocurrency. Like, I understand how blockchain more or less works, like to a basic capacity. But this is by no means that I have extensive knowledge on. However, I feel like I'm going to spill the beans a little bit here. But Rheme, on the other hand, he's had investments into crypto already. You know, you're already in the sauce. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
I turned the right way. Nope. Yes.
Yes. So, you might be.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Okay. So, for those who don't know what an NFT is, an NFT is a non-fungible token. Non-fungible means more or less that
nifty.
Nifty, like GIF.
It's pronounced nifty. Nope, it's pronounced nifty.
Nifty. Okay, well, if you're wondering what a Nifty is, it's a non-fungible token. Non-fungible means more or less that it's unique and it can't be like replicated or substituted with something else. So like think of it like a US dollar. You trade one US dollar for another US dollar and it's interchangeable. What?
That's not a good example, but okay.
What's a better example? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, just because like dollars, depending on the age, like if a dollar's from the 1960s, it'll be worth $2, you know?
Okay, yeah, you're right. Then I can't even use an example of like 1 Bitcoin for 1 Bitcoin. But
yeah, pretty much. That works.
Okay, so think of it like 1 Bitcoin for 1 Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin will always equal another Bitcoin. Man, the dollar thing really fell apart soon. Oh, it's a good show. It's a good show coming up. So,
Yeah,
NFTs.
Show.
NFTs more or less could be anything digital. It could be drawings, videos, you know, if it's sound bites, it could be your brain digitized, you know.
Yeah.
But
it could be a file.
It could be. It really could be. But what's interesting about this is that like a lot of people are turning this much like the art world, it's very much an asset. It's something to be traded for. It's becoming something to make money off of. So it's
yeah, and then
please continue. Sorry.
We should probably explain a little. No, it's okay. Sorry to butt in, but
no,
I feel like we should. It's called a token as opposed to a coin, because it's actually like the one asset that's gonna be on the blockchain, as opposed to like cryptocurrency, which is considered a coin. You would have that you can buy multiples of. When it comes to NFTs, you can only buy multiples of it if the original minter, like making an NFT is like getting something minted, so that way it can show on whatever marketplace that it does have a blockchain available to it. And when you have that, if they decide that there's gonna be multiple, then you can get multiple. But if they decide that there's gonna be one, then there's only gonna be one. It's very weird. It's not like with cryptocurrency where you can mine it.
There's only one of the thing. It's artificial. It's artificial inflation. Artificial scarcity. There you go. That's what I was looking for.
Yes.
Where it's like it's up to the I guess the original owner, right? The original owner to say how many of these things are minted, like they're verified.
Yeah, like one of whatever the fuck X.
Would it be fair to put that in the same category as say like a Pokemon card being sent to PSA?
I mean, it's much more complicated than that, I would say.
Okay.
Because no matter what, this NFT, if you have 100 of them, they're all going to be the same. Well, if you put in like 100 Pokemon cards to
they're all
PSA,
okay.
yeah, it could be all different. It literally could all be different.
You're right. Okay, that's okay. That's a good way to put that. Again, I'm learning as we're going here. I have I have a basic outline of how this is gonna go, and I'm just like, Remy, please teach me something.
Remy, you know about NIFTIES, right?
You know about NIFTIES. You're with the kids, right?
Oh yeah. No.
No.
I don't know what these kids are into, man.
It's an absurd. It is an absurd like area of that is, what's the word I'm looking for? It is a growing market, and it blows my mind how far people have already gone like financially into this when it's still very much in its infancy. And it's something that, I mean, think about this. Like, we live in a world where like most information you can access for free, and most files that you would want, you would just literally copy and paste it into your hard drive, whatever, and then you have a copy of it. But this is now introducing a concept of like, no, this digital thing, there's only like X amount of it, and every single copy after that, it's just it's a forgery. It's a very interesting concept, you know?
Yeah. And we should also state that like you can sell NFTs.
Yes.
If like it gets inflated in terms of its price, and then you can sell it. I have a couple. Just because like I make sure that I keep up with a lot of stuff that's happening in just generally the art world.
Mm-hmm.
And when NFTs came out, like I also like to buy local art and buy small business art. It's not like I can afford the big shit, but like still.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the NFTs came out, when it first came out, I was interested, but I guess I'll explain why I'm not so interested now.
Okay. Do you mind if I pull up an image of the NFT that you bought, or do you want to talk about that yourself? Because I know which one it is.
Oh yeah, I can send you a photo of the.
No. I have it. I can if you don't mind. I want to pull it up on screen.
Oh, go for
it. Okay.
They're called crypto kitties.
Yeah, they're called. That was anticlimactic.
Oh Jesus!
I didn't realize.
Is October over?
I know. This is what we're looking for. Crypto kitties. This is
These are fun.
This was an NFT. What do you know about this NFT?
Okay, so with this NFT, it's generational in terms of what's the most valuable ones. Again, you can buy and you can sell them. When I got in there, it was like I was in the 8th generation. You would breed. It's hard for me to say that word now because of the internet. Yeah, you would breed you need 2 kitties, and then you would breed 2 of them that are compatible, and then it'll come out with certain attributes, and the attributes are what specifies how rare it is, and it also reflects the price.
Okay.
And a lot of NFTs, it runs by the Ethereum, which is a smaller crypto than Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from one white. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say my whole experience with Ethereum in the real world was one white man. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't say it like that. But one white man walking up to me when I was a cashier.
Wait, what?
When I was working as a cashier at a grocery store, like, I had this older white dude walk up to me. He was wearing a gray t-shirt, and on the top, like, the whole text, it was just text saying, it's like, buy low, sell high, Ethereum. And I was like, what is that? He's like, oh, it's a crypto. It's gonna change the world. And I was like Bitcoin? He's like, it's not like Bitcoin. I just remember him saying it like that. It's not like Bitcoin.
It's better. It's better. You fucking absolute loser. I'm gonna be rich. He probably is, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, he bought a lot of I don't remember. He bought a lot of prime rib that night, so maybe he was. I don't know.
Lentils.
Lentils.
But yeah, but I feel like you can say that about anything. Buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah.
Buy low, sell high. CPAP machines.
CPAP machines.
The entirety of capitalism is just buying low, selling high.
Yeah. Wow, we talk
Buy
a lot
low,
about.
sell high.
We talk a lot
That
about.
ass.
Okay. Yes, actually. Invest in booty coin. Invest in booty coin.
That was a coin.
What now?
There's so many fucking obscure fucking coins. That was a coin.
What did you just say?
There was
What coin?
tits coin,
Of course there was.
booty coin.
Of course there
There's
was.
tit coin. There's boy coin, hentai coin.
Boy coin.
Yeah, like there's so many fucking obscure ones. Buy low, sell high. You gotta let it. There's so much like fucking obscure ones. I forget what most of the names are because it's just so much to keep up with that just will not. Memes. They're all memes. Just like Doge. They're all fucking memes.
They are. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ah,
I made my money back with, or I tripled my money with Doge too. So fuck it.
You tripled your money with Doge?
Yeah,
Damn.
man. Because I bought some right before Elon Musk went crazy about it,
Yeah.
and then as soon as it tripled, I was like, fuck it, I'm out.
Jesus.
And I haven't looked back. That's how you invest, my friend. I bought it for the memes.
Bro. Well.
Yeah.
Well.
Wow.
We've been talking a lot about the absurdity of NFTs, and I actually have.
We have been talking a lot about absurdity of NFTs.
It's weird. It's a weird place.
It is weird.
Buy for the meme.
It's a weird place.
I honestly.
Buy for the meme.
Oh,
It's
believe me.
in italicized chat.
Apparently you can. I didn't even know this either. I'm kind of glad you brought it up because I was like, huh.
Wait a second. That's
Wait a minute. You guys are great financial advisors. Believe me, we're just scratching the surface. There's a lot of info that I'm just like bursting at the seams to talk about. Anyway. So
we're not financial advisors.
We are not. This is Beeple Explains the Absurdity of NFTs.
Art exists in the digital world.
What? Wait, why is
it so?
Yeah. Wait. That's better. I don't know, man.
These works of art exist in the digital world, and now they're worth millions of dollars. It's part of an explosion in the market for NFTs, digital tokens that prove ownership of things like digital art that you can't even touch. The center of this virtual gold rush is Mike Winkelmann, better known as Beeple.
Like, I never thought I could sell my work like this.
Then he heard about NFTs.
Jesus.
Kind of late September, early October, people kept hitting me up, being like, oh, you gotta look at this NFT thing.
2 months later, he netted $3.5 million selling art backed by NFTs.
Definitely just like mind-boggling.
It is.
In March, Chris
cannon.
a 200.
Couldn't be us, right?
Couldn't be us.
Right off the bat, let me say that like this is some really cool work that they're doing, or that he was doing, but it's not like, I don't know. I wouldn't have guessed that it would be through such a, I guess, a niche infrastructure, like a niche infrastructure that he like took off, you know? It really, I was bringing this up to Rheme just last night. It's very interesting that people are adding more value to the infrastructure rather than the asset itself these days, you know?
Yeah,
It's
it
incredible.
goes hand in hand with Bitcoin, I think. Just
Mhm.
because, like, unless with Bitcoin, or sorry, cryptocurrency in general, unless you have people backing it, it won't grow. You know, like money needs to go into it for it to go. Let's fucking go, Chris. Too horny.
Let's go. Welcome to the stream, Hessen session.
Hey, bud. Good to see you.
What's up, my friends? We're just talking about crypto.
What is? Yeah. Please bear with
Anyway,
us.
please bear with us.
Financial
A
advice.
25-year-old auction house that previously only sold physical art
Previous in the collections of 3 kings of England at 90 million.
auctioned an entirely digital beeple for millions of dollars.
Is it a
Yeah.
bubble? I think
Bro, this JPEG, listen guys, this JPEG right here sold for $69 million. $69 million. And it's a
Yeah, I
frickin'
think they say
JPEG.
he's the third highest paid living artist right now. I think number one is Damien Hirst.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Bro, I could save this. I could put this as my desktop wallpaper and no one's gonna stop me. But the difference is though, I don't own it. And it's that right of saying that you own the image that makes this price tag. That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, if you own an NFT, then you can check on the blockchain. For those that don't know, you can check on the blockchain for who owns it, who
Mhm.
currently owns it, and who owned it previously. It's not anonymous like Bitcoin or something like that.
No, yeah. It's all registered. It's all public. It's all public knowledge. Unbelievable stuff.
there is a very good chance there could be a bubble.
So why are NFTs and digital art getting so expensive so quickly? The speculation in this market is so wild that when a $95,000 Banksy was burned and then resold, it raised a staggering $400,000 as an NFT.
We sort of value things. It's like if everybody wants it,
Really?
it has value. I mean, what makes a Louis Vuitton purse have value? It's just brown like leather purse.
To understand who pays,
Just
it's
brown.
important to understand NFTs.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like saying, do you think a web page is valuable? Well,
Absolutely.
I don't know. It could be.
NFT stands for non-fungible token. Essentially, a digital
wait, we
signature
pause.
backed by blockchain technology.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so like I think what really shows that this place or that listen, this artist people, he was not an artist that would that wasn't known before. He was known in the art world before. Like, he wouldn't be able to get his stuff in a high-end auction house without being known.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like he already had money backing him. But still, he still got an insane amount of money. He could literally do nothing for the rest of his life. Oh,
I know. I mean, granted, taxes, all this other stuff. They said NIFTY. Yeah. He
they said
created.
Nifty wrong. Insider, you need to step the fuck up.
They did. Dude, it's just like, yeah, he did. That's a really good point. I didn't actually know that. I was gonna say, like,
This came from fucking nothing.
yeah, if this dude was like nothing, or let me rephrase that. If any other digital artist that didn't have his very specific background tried to do this, I don't think it would have taken off. It really wouldn't have taken off.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's a
Like
really
with
good
any
point.
art.
That's a really good point,
Yeah,
Remy.
like if you're selling pictures, if you're selling clothes, if you're selling any kind of art, unless you have some kind of audience, you won't be able to sell,
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, so that's exactly what happened here. He had his audience and then fucking it went off.
Technology that proves ownership of something. Unlike Bitcoin, which are all identical by design, NFTs are unique. To some degree, what NFTs offer for sale is the idea of scarcity. It's possible to buy a token that represents
Information is
art
far
from
more
the world,
valuable, man.
But NFTs also back digital
yeah.
assets like an image.
That's fucking
or a
cool.
tweet.
Sorry.
The current bid
That's
on
cool.
Jack Dorsey's first tweet is $2.5 million.
It actually sold for 2.9 million. Like actually sold completely for that. Woo!
This cat meme recently
Insane.
sold for
Again.
$600,000.
Twitter.
Last week,
The
Logan
maker
Paul
of
made over
Twitter,
$5,081,490 selling
backing.
digital trading cards of himself known as NFTs.
For Beeple, his daily dedication to his craft helped drive his popularity as he posted art he created from his home in Charleston, South Carolina.
So May 1st, 2007, I started doing a sketch a day, every single day, start to finish.
And year after year, Beeple gave them away and built an audience online.
Sharing my stuff and sort of putting it out there, I think actually makes the stuff more valuable because it makes it more popular.
His rise to broader fame as an
Nerd.
artist happened seemingly overnight. Back in the olden days,
This guy may have way more money than I'll ever see in my life, but I can still tell him I can still call him a nerd. Do you not back me in this?
Put him in a body bag, Remy.
2020,
Hell yeah,
his
dude.
NFT-backed Crossroads sold for
Nerd.
$66,666.
I was like, oh my God, I sold a piece for $66,000. It was just like insane.
In December, Beeple sold $3.5 million worth of art in one day. On February 26th, Crossroads resold on the secondary NFT market for $6.6 million, of which Beeple got 10%.
And so now, fast forward 4 months, and it's like 6.6 million. It's just like, yeah, it's a lot. It's a thing. I don't know.
Then in March,
It's a lot.
sells
It's a thing.
5,000 image montage by Beeple for nearly $70 million. That makes Beeple the third most expensive living artist in the world.
It's
Oh,
like,
you
okay,
said
now
that,
the next
Remy.
thing
You already
happening,
said
now
that.
The next thing happening, the next thing
Yeah.
happening. It's just like, now Today Show calling. Okay.
His work can also cross into
Whoa,
topics
that's
that can be
fucking-
offensive or provocative.
Whoa.
So is Beeple
That's a
trolling us
lot.
with his art?
That is a
and
lot.
with
happening
this
here.
idea of selling something
No,
you can
I
get
gotta
for
fuck with
free
it.
off his Instagram?
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, well that's.
I mean,
It's
it's
so
not a
weird.
totally
It's
invalid argument. What
definitely
can I do to sort of
strange.
like nullify that argument?
Back in
Yeah.
December, Beeple
I'm really
provided
into, like,
physical
surrealist
product
art.
along with
I'm going to make this very clear because, first off, hi, YouTube. Second off, we are currently streaming on Twitch. That was not TOS, it's art. It is art. Calm down. Calm down.
the NFT
It's
for his
art.
digital art.
This you can't get on Instagram. This is like, a physical thing that you can, if you're buying the NFT, you get this. So it really kind of instantly sort of like changes it.
I kind of like
It's like
that.
you don't even really need to understand the
I kinda
NFT
like the-
part. Like you're buying this.
I like the
Christie's,
physical
being
aspect
all
of it.
digital is what made Beeple's artwork
Yeah,
it's
all the
art.
more
Calm down.
unique and valuable.
It's really a radical gesture to offer for sale something without any object hood. And we might as well lean into that.
Beeple's day job is
I
as a
agree.
graphic designer with
up,
clients like
nerd?
Louis Vuitton, Nike. and
Shut up,
Apple.
nerd.
So I don't really like the term
Oh,
artist
man.
because it sounds very pretentious and douchey. Like I would never be like, I'm an artist.
I'm an
Still,
artist.
he's regularly compared to
douche.
Banksy and Warhol, artists who undermine the notion of
Bro.
owning art, and also to that Italian artist
Do
who
you like
mocked the
Warhol?
fine art market by taping a
They're
banana
like-
to
Wait,
the
sorry, who? What?
Warhol. Little Nostril X. Welcome.
Welcome in, my friend. I personally think Warhol is pretentious and overrated. Now, that being said, I have seen his piece, his collection of different prints of an electric chair that like I find very ominous and breathtaking. So there is this thing of like, yes, I find him very pretentious. I don't quite like him. He is a person, total piece of shit. Controversial opinion, I know. But
No, you're good.
I know, I know. But at the end of the day, his art has actually elicited an emotional response for me. So by all means, he succeeded, but I still think that he's pretentious, and I think his art's very overrated.
Nice.
Why do you ask?
I'm just curious. What do you think about Banksy? We're
Oh,
talking about art, you know?
I know.
I've
I
never
lo-
actually asked you these questions.
This is true. I
Yeah.
find Banksy very transformative, and Like I don't know. I've more or less followed to a reasonable degree what he's been doing for the last 10ish years or so. Like he put out a documentary like maybe 10 years ago that I was just like, wow, incredible stuff. But then
I think it sucks.
you think Banksy sucks?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Dude,
What?
I'm just like,
No, just like his commentary in the art world is very much needed, and he's coming from a really good place because I feel like he understands
uh-huh.
where he is in the art world. But because of this whole like the stature that he has and how he's been able to keep anonymous the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
It's really not about. It's really more like what's the word? Performative art. I like the performative aspect of it. I don't like the actual art pieces.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Okay. Speaking of pretentious, that's a banana duct taped to a wall.
The wall.
Yeah,
This
it's how
banana
yours.
duct taped to a wall. It's Maurizio Catalan's latest work of art. It's called The Comedian.
I think if you looked at a lot of fine art, you would probably say the same thing, or most people would say the same thing. They'd be like, who paid for this?
This is Rheme Ito, co-founder of Maker's Place, an online marketplace that sells NFTs. He teamed up with Christie's for the sale of Beeple's collage.
The big catalyst was
That's
the Christie's
cool.
auction. That announcement brought in a lot of visibility in so many different channels.
To build anticipation for the Christie's auction, Rheme teamed up with Beeple to sell some of his artworks for $1 each. It crashed the Maker's Place site.
Yeah,
At our
super
peak,
tech.
we had about
That's cool.
450,000 requests coming through at a second. So
Day trader Keith Llewellyn was one of the lucky ones, buying the NFT for just $1.
So, I learned about NFTs last week just before I posted this video on my TikTok. Then I followed the world's biggest NFT artist and noticed he was having an NFT drop where his work was going for only $1.
Key ended up with one of Beeple's artworks and was offered $50,000 for it the same day, but didn't take the offer.
I expected to
I wouldn't have.
like exponentially by the end of
That's history,
year.
you know?
Instead of art collectors, many of the buyers at the moment are like Key, speculators and investors in this gold rush. Just like with cryptocurrencies, environmental and climate concerns are real. NFT transactions use significant, growing amounts of electricity. In a single month, one NFT marketplace went from 200 transactions a day to 5,000.
And I honestly think that the sort of digital art community is gonna take this much more seriously, addressing these issues than sort of the broader blockchain community.
The question is, if this mania will keep going or come crashing down.
Yes. That's actually the reason, now that the video's over, that's actually the reason or the point that I was getting to earlier about how I'm not really into that anymore, because I'm very much into being environmentally conscious. And like, it uses up so much fucking energy. It's not like with Bitcoin where, fuck, I'm such a douche with my fucking hand. It's not like with Bitcoin where like, a large aspect of it, I want to say 80% I think is the number I was given by a reputable source. Like 80% is using some kind of energy that's much more eco-friendly than, say, like gas powered. Like they're using a lot of solar, they're using a lot of wind. It's just because I feel like with Bitcoin, especially with mining, it needs so much power in general. That, like, a normal house can't even fucking, like, you'd have to rig up your house for the normal electricity to fucking work with it.
Yeah.
So you need the solar anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why that happened.
But
yeah.
I was gonna ask, how could Ethereum be less green than Bitcoin? And so Remy, I maybe I'm stepping on your toes a little bit here, but you're talking a lot yesterday when we were kind of going over how we're gonna do the stream today, that it's like a lot of the power is being sucked out of the servers storing that information, right?
Yes. The block, like The blockchain and mining. I'm not sure to what ratio, but yeah. It uses up a ton of power. With Ethereum, they're just not very vocal about it. I don't know if they are like doing anything that's very much environmentally conscious, but like it seemed really greenwashy, if you're familiar with that term.
Yeah. Yes. Many a company greenwashes.
Yes.
Many.
Especially with NFTs. When I was doing research on NFTs, it was very much like I wanted them to be good. I wanted them to be like okay for me to get.
Mhm.
And this is not a dig on anyone else's choices. You can't blame individuals for the problems that corporations cause.
No.
So everyone's good. Yeah. But like it's like I wanted to find out like some kind of like something that would fucking satiate my confirmation bias.
Yeah.
And then like I just couldn't. It was all bad. It was all super greenwashy. I couldn't do it with like in good conscience. I couldn't do it. So that's not to say that I totally gave up on it. I'm sure, just like with Bitcoin and like most cryptocurrencies, they'll move towards more greener pastures.
Yeah.
No, they'll
Shut up.
move to be they'll move to being more green, so that way when it gets to there, that's when I'll be more comfortable doing it. But it's also like there's a lot more factors. Do you want to watch the next video first, or do you want me to go on about that?
No, I want you to finish this thought, and then I have another video about this guy who spent 58 million pounds. But I want you to please finish what you're talking about. Finish your topic.
Yeah. A lot. Well, I mean, it talks about it in the other video.
Oh
about
yeah,
accessibility.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, this is the guy that bought Beeple's first 500 days.
Was it? I didn't know that this was the guy that actually bought it. I thought that's okay. I didn't even know this when I selected this. Ooh. Okay. All right.
See?
Learning something new, guys.
Quite hard.
It's very soft.
I don't spend like throw money on stuff. I'm very. I like to think I'm very reasonable when.
So reasonable that he spent 58 million pounds on digital art.
So reasonable. Look at that fucking shirt. Trash.
I'm gonna be honest. It looks comfy though.
When it comes to the real world, right? And so
you can have both, dude.
Also. But I thought this piece was that important, so I paid for it.
I didn't realize that this was the guy.
Oh, sorry, I'm blocking some of the text, so I'll read it out loud. The third most expensive living artist in the world.
Because I think if this NFT industry is successful, that means it will open up this whole new world for a lot more artists and a lot more collectors. And I think the world will be a better place, right? So that's my intention.
NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, give collectors ultimate ownership of a digital artwork. Even though the work can be endlessly copied, people like Rheme are convinced of the merits of the new frontier in digital art. But others are less certain than benefits will reach all
occasional artists getting a lot of money because
they're in
the right place at the right time. And sure, for that person, good news. But for a regular artist trying to make themselves known, I cannot see how this is helping.
That's true because most. Oh, it was about to end. I'll save it for after. There you go. Okay. Most NFTs honestly go for like pennies, you know? So it's only a very select few artists that are making any sort of real returns on this, you know?
Yeah.
That's interesting. But
yeah, this was the video though.
What?
What was the other video, like the 14-minute video that we were gonna watch?
Oh, no, that comes at the end because it's because we're
14 fucking minutes long.
it's yeah, even though it's long, we have another thing going into the future of NFTs. So that's where the that's where the accessibility thing comes into play here.
I'll talk about that later then.
Okay, cool. So the thing about this dude is that like he's one of the people who believes that there is a legitimate future. He literally overstepped it by just a few minutes.
God damn.
I know, it's okay. Anyway, this guy really believes in the future of NFTs. And it's people like this who are just like they got in on not only in order to even get here, they needed to make, an account to get a wallet for this crypto. So first you already needed to know about the crypto. You needed to understand it well enough to grow that asset. And then next you go into digital art. So there are so many not points of entry. There are so many steps that you need to take in order to even get to this place that it's really like, can there be a future to this if it's not even that accessible?
Yeah.
I mean, you were talking a little bit about I know that it's going to come up in just a moment here, but I don't think that this can go away simply because there's already companies that are putting a lot of money into NFTs. I mean, we already saw a bit of a boom with a lot of companies were giving out their own cryptos, they were giving out their own coins, as instead of stock options. A lot of people were like, oh yeah, here, have Pringles coin, chip coin, whatever.
Yeah.
But now this is moving to the place where it's like, I am literally paying for an ad. Think about that. They're literally paying.
That wild?
Yeah. They have commercialized our expression. How dare they?
How dare they? They've commercialized art.
Oh, boo.
The very first people to commercialize art. Bastards.
It just came down to the wire like that. Oh, I hope you didn't look at the screen.
Honestly.
Anyway.
I saw.
Well, at least I hope you didn't get the information, because I've been waiting to reveal something. Okay, cool. This is the full 5,000 days. Well, it's not the full thing, but it's close enough. It's the majority of it. This sold for $69 million. I wish that this was a high enough quality image that we could zoom in and look at some of the pieces, but this is art. Is this art? This is art. 69 million.
69. But sorry. Sorry about that little moment I just had. But yeah.
Nice. Go on.
In the art world, it's considered art. It's a very recognizably art.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked.
But then, is this art? Is this art just a PNG of a tweet from the founder of Twitter?
Well, I don't think he was putting it out as art. It was just as an NFT.
Yeah, but it's is this really? Can we really put value to just sitting at my Twitter? What is art? What is art?
I feel like this is more historical.
This is historical. We are a part of history right now. This is the art world at large. Yeah. Oh my god. If it is, we look at it as art. True.
Yeah. It's all subjective. If you think something's art, then it's art.
Seriously.
If you see a homeless man vomiting on the street and you're like, yo man, that's art, then that person who said that that's art believes that that's art, so it's art.
Pretty sure that was a new Broadway play. Off-Broadway play.
Homeless man vomiting on the street?
Maybe. You get entertainment.
No, Peter, that's my Broadway play.
Art is about context. So you know what? That was a very artistic vomit of you.
What was the context of the vomit? 240s? Okay, cool.
240s.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Where is this all going? What is
Where?
What
is life? What is anything? I feel like we've re-entered the early 2000s. Does that make sense? We've re-entered humanities and pop cultures, more specifically. Pop culture's fucking experimental phase because of COVID.
Now
Does that
that
make sense?
Yeah. No, now that is something new. That's so true. Bro, don't make fun of me. Don't patronize me. That is
Wait, am
something
I looking the
interesting.
wrong way?
You were looking the wrong way. That's some shit.
That's some shit, yeah. We've re-entered, because of COVID, we've re-entered the early 2000s. We're like, so much is fucking happening. No one quite gets what the fuck is happening, but it's happening, and we just have to be okay with it because we can't do anything about it.
That happened.
That happened.
Wow. Where's this all going? Where's this all going?
Oh, to another video, I guess.
Only a few months ago, the term NFT was exploding all
Very
over
true,
the
Lenny.
internet.
Now to the latest trend: the skyrocketing prices for digital art sold as.
Hold on, we're gonna highlight something that came up in chat. Postmodernism is all about nostalgia and recontextualizing old things. That's very true.
Peter, if I may.
Yes.
Postmodernism is all about nostalgia and recontextualizing all old things. Sorry, I fucked up.
You're old. What can I say?
I'm old, man.
Oh, man.
NFTs.
The Christie's auction for digital artist Beeple coming to a close a few moments ago. The final bid, $69 million.
$69 million?
Just short of 69,422. What a shame.
Anybody in this sector has to admit that they were shocked by the size and the ferocity and speed that the industry evolved so quickly.
The number of wallets that were purchasing NFTs skyrocketed. The number of transactions of NFTs across the board skyrocketed. And the prices for many NFT artists also went up. But that came down very, very fast.
Once red hot, NFTs are now cooling off a bit.
I'm gonna say right now,
intense.
That was intense. But at the same time, I'm looking at some of these pieces. Like, this has already happened a few times, where while we've been watching these things, where I'm just like, wow, that piece is actually like, it's connecting with me. Like, there have been already. I understand. I understand why you might want to pay for this, and you would want that sense of ownership for these things, but I don't know. It's so it's such a nuanced concept. Like, what even is ownership? You know, what even is that?
Yeah, it's like you don't even own the rights to it. You
No,
know?
you just own that copy. Weird.
Yeah, I think it goes to say. I was just about to say, like, I got into NFTs purely for the money. But it
you're
goes
honest.
to say with, like, yeah, with every kind of art, unless it's interactive like that, you would literally say it's just an NFT, where it's just a still frame of an illustration, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people have. I've seen people like make the case like, what are you gonna do? Just look at it? It's also like that's what you do with normal art, anyways.
What are you gonna do? Just look at it? Yeah. I am actually.
Exactly.
That's a good point to make, actually, as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
Lick it.
Lick
okay.
it.
Okay. All right. Anything for you?
You can lick anything.
That actually tastes disgusting.
Also, you use acrylic, you weirdo.
I do use acrylic.
Anyway. What are you, 12?
Maybe.
secondary market for
Don't worry, bud, it's
the
non-toxic.
majority of people's
I know.
paintings today is down 95% from the peak, as is most NFT art.
Yeah.
But even more recently, NFTs have been on the rise once again. And even with significant value volatility in NFT artwork, NFT collectibles like NBA Top Shot and NFT-based video games like Axie Infinity
that's
have
ridiculous.
surged in popularity.
The correction that kind of happened with the NFT art side is healthy, and what we're going to see come out of that now are projects that actually have utility that'll be able to affect a much wider amount of people, and I think that's where the excitement is.
And many companies are betting that NFTs will enter the video game world in a big way, which, if successful, could open NFTs to a massive new audience and forever change the way we value digital objects.
I mean, very much at that point, it become like it's. Oh man, I just lost my train of thought. Once it reaches the point where that Batman was nasty though, a little bit. Once it reaches the point where it is in video games, I feel like boomers will undeniably say that this is art. Finally, we will be recognized for our art.
I thought you were gonna say boomers are gonna say, "Oh shit, I lost my train of thought too." Boomers are gonna say, "Now that's what I call." Never mind, fuck it, I lost it. Damn it, I hate my life.
Oh man, it's okay. It's okay. We're slight digression. Welcome to the stream, Amanda Panda. File in, get a blankie, get cozy, maybe pour yourself a drink. We're talking about we're talking about what are we talking about? Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, welcome in.
From the top of my mama? Yeah. I high-fived you from on top of your mama.
Top of your Wahama mama.
Wahama mama. But yeah, it's just very interesting, and the crossover from an NFT going into a video game is honestly the next logical step, you know?
It's okay, and Peter doesn't understand anything either.
It's okay. I will review what I said. I'll review what I said at the very beginning of stream. It's like I'm learning as we're going here. I have a rough outline as to how this is supposed to go, and a lot of this is just like, whoa, this is crazy. This is art history happening in front of our eyes, friends.
Yeah.
Incredible. And this is also a CryptoKitty, which Rheme invested into. So
yes. I'd also like to say, like, when you're talking about the whole thing of like putting it into different aspects where you can actually customize what's going on in like a game or something, and you can customize like the stuff. I was telling you about how like I just looked it up. Gucci. It was Gucci that made digital shoes that you could wear in whatever game is integrated with it. AR fashion. Yeah.
yes.
They sold for $12, which isn't bad, but it's also like digital shoes.
But $12, mind you, $12 for a digital
shoes. I just want feet pics.
I'm gonna slightly digress. You know what I learned last night? That there are people on Facebook Marketplace, specifically women who are selling shoes, like used shoes on Facebook Marketplace, where there are an influx of male buyers sending them messages saying like, hey, could you send me more pics of you wearing the shoes? It's more or less
that stuff.
It's more or less commissioned feet pics.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with what
like,
we're talking about, but I just needed to throw that in because I was like, the fuck?
Yeah, no, I actually have something to say about that.
Okay.
On a lot of reselling fucking platforms, it's like people. What's funny, Amanda? You have the attention of us.
You have our attention. What's funny, Amanda?
We'll wait. People selling mirrors on Facebook Marketplace. The picture, they are funny. Have you seen those?
Yes.
It's like fucking.
Yeah. So true. Yeah, no, seriously, it makes my day too, Amanda. You know what? I'm gonna make an executive decision. I'm gonna make an executive decision right now. I
Can I
have
finish
no
my thought first.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So I have friends who do reselling, and like they're pretty girls, I guess, and like they get messages maybe once a weekend where people are like, "Hey, if I buy this underwear from you, can you wear them for a little bit?" Yeah. And on a lot of reselling platforms, you're not allowed to sell used underwear.
For hygienic reasons,
For
yes.
obvious
Reasons.
Yeah. Oh God, Lonnie,
Dude.
please, I'm so sorry if that's happened to you.
What? What?
Look at the chat.
Yeah, no, I know. As if Lenny's ever been like, listen, I really need to fund this cup of coffee. I'm selling my underwear. I will.
Wait,
trying to wait. Never. You know what?
Shipping worldwide.
I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop talking. Also, shoes. If you like selling shoes, people will ask for pictures of them in them. Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly.
100% sell my nudes, my undies. Sorry, for big bucks.
You
You're
would.
no. Here's the thing. That's because you're consenting. You know, if you're just trying to sell a pair of shoes online, you're not expecting to be like, yo, can you wear them for a week without any socks so I can smell them? You know?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa now.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think it's weird. I respect the hustle of people selling used undergarments because there's a huge market for it.
Mm.
But in places where it's not advertised, I feel like it should stay away. That's my whole thing.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Now, I'm gonna make an executive decision. Now, normally for Sigmac, I don't have chat up because I normally try to edit down these videos for for YouTube. But this is the first. I know this will be on YouTube. I know me saying this will be on YouTube. This is the first episode that we're uploading in its entirety directly to this platform. I'm talking in the future. So, everybody, I'm going to give you I'm going to trust you, and I'm going to put chat up on screen. So, put your smiles in chat. Make sure you look pretty, because this will be immortalized. Get your smiles. Get your smiles. Oh, see, look. TV getting it. Look pretty for YouTube. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Smile in chat. I'll also like to say
right up there.
Here's how cool I am with selling undies.
Look at all y'all looking so cute.
Yeah.
Looking so cute in chat.
I used to be an account manager for an OnlyFans account.
Yes,
and
yes you did.
My god, I would sell a ton of those.
Feet
Hello,
pics?
YouTube.
Who
feed pics, not my own, of the model. I would just have them in a file, like, and I tried to sell them undies, and I tried to sell them a bunch of shit.
Jeez Louise.
It's good fucking money.
I believe it. I do. I do. Oh my goodness gracious. You know what, actually, why don't you guys keep Rheme company? I'll put you right next to Rheme. How about that?
Hi, chat. Where's chat?
It's gonna be right next to you. Keep Rheme company. There you go. Yay. Oh, you're super tiny though. Sorry.
Amanda, how my name is spelled?
Technical
Okay.
things.
It's okay.
There you go.
No, it's the little place card in the bottom.
That's true.
Well, my camera's lagging as fuck. RHEME.
And it sucks too because see, we got his internet like crystal clear before we started the show. But you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is.
How's my audio?
A little not staticky. It does cut out a bit, but whatever. We're moving on with the show.
Whatever.
We're moving on with the show.
We're moving on with the fucking show. Guys, we're talking about fucking NFTs. I don't know if you know, but it's pronounced fucking nifty, and if you could just fucking get on board with that.
Whoa,
get
now.
on fucking board with that.
Whoa.
Fucking cryptocurrency, buy low, sell high, Ethereum. You know what the fuck is up? That's pretty much the energy of the YouTubers that talk about this shit.
We are not financial advisors. This is not financial advice. So, that is that. Moving on.
We are in the process of an exodus from.
You know that still makes you liable, right?
Yes.
You give out financial advice that doesn't help anyone.
I know.
That continue to be created and where people are spending an increasing amount of their conscious time.
The next level. Nifty.
You may have heard by now that NFTs stands for non-fungible token. But explaining exactly what that means can get complicated.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So for our purposes, what you need to know is that through blockchain technology, digital objects like a JPEG file or a virtual sneaker or even a meme that you'd normally think about as being infinitely reproducible can now be made scarce. So for example, if you're resourceful, the video you're watching right now could be downloaded from YouTube and you could copy and paste it as much as you'd like. In theory, it is infinitely reproducible. Tokenizing or minting is the process you can go through via blockchain where you can create a record of scarcity. In the blockchain, you can enter into a ledger that there are only 1,000 versions of this video, or 100, or even just one.
Can copy
Taking
all out
something
of
that was
NFTs,
infinitely
honestly.
replicatable and giving it artificial scarcity. And if you're rushing out to try and download this video now, thinking you'll make a quick buck, that's not exactly how it works. Only the holder of the NFT in what are known as digital wallets can actually own the item, and they can choose to resell them in exchange for cryptocurrencies.
Like what Remy was talking about earlier, how it's all in the blockchain and it's more or less on a ledger. So it's public information. And if you were to try to, because of course, you know, people do steal NFTs. That is something that does happen. But the thing is, in order to spoof that you actually own it, there's a lot more steps involved. So you really can't simply just copy and paste it and try to resell it, because there's still the information out there that it's like, oh, Joe Blow owns this dancing gif of this neon man, you know?
Yeah, I feel like that actually, thinking about it right now that you can actually check ownership of who had it last, that fixes a lot of problems with big art, where a lot of art in art museums is reproductions.
Right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, so, and if they were to sell it, you don't know if that shit's real, you don't know if that shit's fake. Another thing, again, I don't like Banksy's visual work. I like his performative work. Not that much, but I'm more of an abstract expressionist kind of guy. But he actually had some commentary about that, where he set up a booth, not even a booth. He just put a bunch of his work on a fence in a park in New York, and he sold them for like $40 each.
Right.
And no one knew that he was Banksy, and no one knew that they were legitimate Banksy pieces.
Okay.
But then afterwards, his commentary got skewed, and people were starting to do the same thing and saying that I got this in the park when Banksy was selling them. They were selling fakes. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's interesting.
Yes, that shit got fucked.
Interesting. you're also kind of blowing my mind with, oh my gosh. Sorry, my ear just did this thing where it just like, do you ever get that thing where one ear just kind of muffles for just like a moment and just like disorients you?
Yeah, it sucks, dude.
That just happened. Sorry. What was I saying? Well, that is interesting because, most of the things that you even see in museums obviously they're not owned by the museum, and they're literally just being lent out. So to be able to track down where it is and the owners, that's very helpful information. That really is cutting edge.
Yeah, it's usually the stuff in. A lot of times, the stuff in museums are owned by private collectors, so they won't really put their name out there like that, because that leads to a lot of fucking a lot of, like, it puts a target on you. If you actually have the original piece, it puts a fucking target on you.
Absolutely. What a weird time to be alive.
But while we
What a
have seen
weird
some
fucking
high
time,
sale
man.
prices, are buying these NFTs actually a good investment?
I would hesitate to call NFTs an asset class. They are an asset. In the same way that I would hesitate to call art an asset class. Art is an asset. But for it to be an asset class, it really needs to be something that you can buy and sell and buy and sell.
This is Bloomberg's art reporter, James Tarmy.
So all you have to do when you think about the art market and you think about the prices that are paid for these $10 million paintings, $20 million paintings, $30 million paintings, is think about what kind of liquidity you need to have to spend $30 million on something that you cannot resell anytime soon.
That's true.
There is not a line of people waiting to spend $30 million on the painting that you just bought. There might be one other person or maybe two other people, but that's no guarantee that those two other people want to buy that painting when you want to sell that painting.
And this is similar
Also
in
true.
the NFT space. The number of people able to spend large sums of cryptocurrency on NFTs is relatively small.
I thought this was
And
sick.
a lot of
Yeah.
people became very interested.
Dude, AR technology is where it's at. Like, I know you roughly talked about AR fashion a little bit earlier, but I think that in itself is going to be a whole nother thriving market, but it will be very niche. I don't think it's gonna ever be accessible enough.
People fucking thought Pokemon Go wasn't gonna be fucking iconic, but they were the first to really bring AR in there like that.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, that's a really, really good point.
Yeah.
And it was actually really good too. It was pretty decent
it's still
AR.
really good. I still play the fuck out of it. Yeah. Fucking summer 2016. One crazy summer, boys and girls and everyone in
girls.
between.
I mean, I was wrapped up in the Pokemon Go craze as well. I mean, I was out at the aquarium trying to catch water types,
Yeah, man.
Man, crazy.
Good for you. You can just go outside.
And you can't? You can't just go
No,
outside?
I can't. No, I mean, like, yeah, you can just get water types outside. You don't have to go to the aquarium.
Yes, but it's Hawaii, okay? There are special places where you can get certain types, and you have chances to get like really good ones. I know you understand this. Don't act like I'm crazy. You go to these
you're
places.
crazy. That's not how it works.
Interested in jumping on the bandwagon. There
I
was
still play
a
Pokemon
world
Go,
that was
people.
opened
Add me.
up to a general public.
Put the Pokemon Go link on my fucking Twitter.
And that seemed like a world of infinite possibilities. And so corporations suddenly started releasing NFTs.
Literally what I was
Charmin
saying.
Toilet paper.
You're buying
released an
ads.
NFT.
You're
I just
purchasing
got an email
ads.
About Campbell Soup's first NFT. And this isn't just about artworks. This is also about the various NFTs that are connected to games and virtual worlds and so forth. People are connecting houses to NFTs. They're connecting physical artworks to NFTs. They're connecting portions of an entire soccer team in a Mexican soccer league to NFTs. And then something weird started to happen, right? More people were making NFTs than buying NFTs. So you had a lot of people trying to jump
That was
on a
inevitable, though.
bandwagon that
Yeah.
might not really have existed in the first place.
And while the initial boom of interest did drive more people to participate in the NFT marketplace
That's freaky.
than before,
Oh.
those numbers are still
Throw it
relatively
back.
small.
Let's go.
According to a 2021 report by nonfungible.com, weekly active wallets, in theory, the number of people who bought and sold NFTs in a given week peaked at only 40,000. And if NFTs are going
That's
to become
far.
an asset class of the digital future, the number of buyers and sellers in the market must increase by a lot.
There's still a tremendous amount of friction. To get a MetaMask wallet, to understand the idea of holding private keys, to engage with this world, it's a process.
This is Sam Engelbart. He's the general
Can
partner
we
at a
pause?
venture business called...
Yeah, absolutely. What's up?
Like a big problem with a lot of newer newer cryptocurrency is that the way that crypto was actually able to get as big as it did is because it's a utility. You can use Bitcoin to actually buy stuff with.
Right. It is a currency, right?
And with NFTs, yeah. With a lot of NFTs, you can't just buy and sell and trade. Not a lot of places accept. Sorry, I keep saying NFTs. Not a lot of places accept crypto.
Right.
But then when NFTs first came out, you're able to buy them with Ethereum. That's not new, but it's like it put it more in the limelight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it was diversified and it wasn't Bitcoin itself. It was a different crypto. So bringing the overall spotlight to cryptocurrencies, you know.
Ethereum especially.
Yeah. Which is why I had that old white man come up to me and be like, buy low, sell high. Hey, J Killer. Thanks for the host. Thanks for the hosty, my friends. Thanks.
What's going on?
What's
going on?
What do you mean? What's going on?
I
you don't
know
understand
what I mean, 'cause
you don't understand what
going
just.
on.
Sorry. Okay. So something that you can do on Twitch is you can host other channels, so that way their viewers could, if they click onto their channel, go into their chat or whatever, like they click onto this channel, I'm being broadcast. So hello to J Killer's followers and friends, and J Killer himself or herself, whomever. I appreciate
Hi,
that.
everybody. Talking about cryptocurrency.
I appreciate the hosty. So
Please bear with us.
Please bear with us. We are not financial advisors.
Host.
Welcome in, friend. Welcome in.
I barely probably fucking.
We
Welcome
saw
in,
the
J Killer.
confetti. We saw the confetti.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, what were you talking about? How you can't Bitcoin, you can't use it in many places.
No. Bitcoin you can use it in plenty of places. I think it stops, but you could buy it from. You can buy Bitcoin, or sorry, you can buy like Teslas with Bitcoin.
Right.
I think you still can, but yeah, it's a utility. It's an actual utility.
I don't think you can anymore. I don't think you can anymore,
Yeah.
but I know what you're saying. Go on.
Yeah, that's it.
But what? Okay,
The Ethereum, it wasn't seen as much of a utility. Does that make sense?
it does. But can I also bring up the fact that, he just talked about how you have to jump through. There are a few hoops that you have to jump through in order to even enter into this world. So it's a question
wasn't that
also.
hard.
No, I mean, I know, but as I pointed out before, like first you need to have a basic understanding of cryptocurrencies. You need to understand Ethereum to a reasonable degree, and then once you've gotten those two things down, you have to sign up for this NFT site, and then you're starting to trade with, now it's no longer a currency. You're trading with these assets. It's very, I don't want to, I dare say high concept, but it's different. It's very, very different. What?
Yeah.
It's not?
It's not. It's really easy. Like you just make MetaMask a thing. The thing that he was showing on screen
Yeah.
was him entering his key for like if you were to log into a new IP address. But like, you can just take a photo of it. You can take a screenshot. It's not
Right.
that hard.
Right.
Like with a lot of it, a big part of it is that you have to have crypto inside your actual wallet with whatever wallet platform that you're using.
Mhm.
Then you have to transfer it to MetaMask, and then you can sign up for the sites and stuff like
Yeah. But
that. Yeah.
I'm not saying that the sign up or these things are hard. I'm trying to get at the point of this isn't accessible to a lot of people. You know, the reason why it's not taking off is because already, you know, there are a lot of people who don't have. You made this point last night about how some people, a lot of the world doesn't have access to a smartphone. So this can't quite blow up yet because even the internet's not totally accessible yet. So that's probably that probably has to do with why this isn't taking off. Because it's not, this isn't understandable. This isn't accessible to the average person.
Yeah. My example last night was that like a lot of people, I'm full Filipino, Peter's half.
I'm half Filipino, yeah.
Peter's half Filipino. And like the Philippines, if you didn't know already, for the chat, not for you, but if you didn't know already, it's still an underdeveloped country. So a lot of places, they don't even have that clean of drinking water. People still die of starvation. People don't have access to smartphones everywhere. It's all centralized in the biggest city, Manila or Cebu.
Yeah.
But like, it's not as accessible as people would like to think that it is.
It's really not.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, water's not even accessible. Where's the blockchain for water? Okay.
Honestly, Peter, put NFTs in a fucking body bag, dude.
I will. Blockchain some water. Figure out the
Need
technology.
NFTs. You know what? The future of NFTs is no more because of Peter.
Yeah, got him. And if NIFTIES, you're canceled.
Canceled. Did you get the soundbite?
I did. Sorry, we were watching Jimmy Neutron last night. Moving on.
Galaxy Interactive. They currently
Your
manage a
future
$5 billion
is canceled.
fund, investing in technology and content aimed towards
Hashtag cancel
Hashtag
NIFTIES.
cancel
I
NFTs.
spend a lot of time these days first trying to just define what the metaverse is and then make sure we're all talking about the same thing, because I think we're still quite a ways away from an immersive world like Ready Player One being something that we all inhabit.
Except for eating, sleeping, and bathroom breaks, whatever people want to do, they do it in the Oasis.
I think we are very, very close and
That's fair.
witnessing every day
That's absolutely fair.
exodus from a purely physical world to an increasingly immersive synthetic digital world that doesn't look like one place we all go to, but is actually just the amalgamation of the different digital worlds that we experience on our various devices.
And a lot of players are investing in this future digital world. A recent Bloomberg intelligence report believes that the market opportunity for the metaverse could be $800 billion by 2024. And for Galaxy Interactive, one of their biggest investments has been in gaming.
I don't believe long term that just by making something an NFT, it's going to be interesting enough to be all that meaningful unless you build some sort of a game or metagame into the process of collecting itself.
Well, I mean, because think about this. Like, gaming already has such a high captive audience of people who are willing to do microtransactions. Like, we've already seen, you know, there's been a lot of controversies in just like the last few years about games being, what is it? Pay to play, pay to win. There you go. Like that it's already a market that has so many microtransactions. So if you introduce something like, oh, you're literally getting art, you literally have this one, you have ownership of this thing. Like, it's it's a logical progression. And by all means, once this happens, I don't think this will ever really go away. There will always be a community behind NFTs. I mean, we've already seen some of the stuff tonight. It's incredible.
Okay, cool. You're done?
Yeah. I'm done.
Sorry. But like, we were talking about this too last night about how like I personally think there are two defining factors. Like one, it has to be accessible to the middle class, no matter what time period it's in. Like you were saying last night about how the middle class is shrinking.
Yeah, from both sides. Yeah.
The divide between divide from upper class to poverty is getting smaller and smaller. So whatever point in life or point in time that the middle class can actively afford this and actively be able to be like, yo, I don't mind buying this, and it's readily accessible. I think the middle class needs to, like, everyone in the, not everyone of course, but like everyone in the middle class needs to have a crypto wallet. Does that make sense?
In order for this to be
as accessible and for it to take off like that.
I agree. I mean, I've been trying to get into cryptos honestly for the last like 2 years now, but in the very specific case of me, in the state of Hawaii, it's not legal here yet, or there's a lot of gray areas with it here in this state. So I'm still not at a point where I can get into this. So it isn't accessible to me, even though, like, I'm not saying that I'm going to become like an Euler. It doesn't mean that I have money to just throw at this, but I would at least have put some money into this asset, or put some of my liquidity into an asset. Okay. I would have.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm in poverty, so I have a fucking
NFTs with games
wallet. I have a
already
crypto
seen
wallet.
great success. One of the earliest breakout NFTs was CryptoKitties. Cartoon cats that users can buy, sell, and even breed.
Is the one that
NFT
I found out
became
about.
so popular at one point that it clogged the entire Ethereum network back in 2017, and it continues to have an active community today. And one of the drivers of increased digital wallets post the NFT boom in early 2021 has been a game called Axie Infinity. These Pokemon-like creatures are all unique NFTs that a user can buy into and level up by playing in a new business model known as play to earn.
What could be better than a free game? Well, how about a game that pays you to play it?
So far,
No,
it's allowed
thanks.
people in developing economies like the Philippines and Vietnam to earn real money through playing.
Let's make this kind of clear, though.
Again,
you still need to put the money in. You still need to. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Lenny. You still need to put the money in first before you can even start trying to make money off of this.
Yes.
And now a team of veteran video game developers at Mythical Games are working on their first NFT-based game, Blankos Block Party.
With real toys in real life, the way to keep their value is you put them in the box, you put them on the shelf, you leave them there. But with Blankos, as you play with them, they get better.
Most games, if you bought a Spider-Man character or you bought a League of Legends skin, they're virtual items. They stay within that ecosystem. Once you buy them, you've bought them, right? There's nothing else you could really do with them at that point. And what we're doing in the kind of experimentation with Blankos is players own them. They can sell these assets, they can level them up and mash them up to create new ones and all that. So it really gives the players a lot of freedom to build, play, and earn.
This is Mythical Games CEO John Linden. He sees games as a great means to introduce more
Looks so
people into
uncomfortable.
the NFT crypto world.
Really does.
So one of the goals at Mythical was we really wanted to bring this concept
Melon
of
Boy.
blockchain and NFT assets to
Watermelony.
the mainstream gamer, right? So maybe someone that doesn't fully understand crypto and is not, an investor in Ethereum. We really wanted to make sure that they could
You're
partake
right,
in
Lenny.
this
You
concept.
can't just sell skin.
And his success in this space isn't necessarily about having big, headline-grabbing single asset sales, but rather
I
having
think
a
that they
much
actually
larger
talk about the
volume of
difference
sales overall.
of skins
We're
in
not
this,
thinking about
I
it in
think.
terms of a $10 item that's worth $1 million.
Talking about like
today.
human skin.
We're thinking about it in terms of
Oh.
a $10 item that becomes
Well, that's
worth
different. Yeah, no, yeah,
and a
but
$25
you can do
item
that
becomes
too, I
worth
guess.
and a $40 item becomes worth 75. And those are still, if you think about it, those are amazing. They don't sound sexy, but they're
You heard it here first. Don't sell human skin. You can. You shouldn't though.
Not really.
Not really. You shouldn't though.
amazing
Please don't sell skin.
returns on investments, right? So we're definitely thinking about it in terms of something that's attainable, something that the average consumer can actually partake in.
Latest trades, $55, $20.
We're seeing all these different Twitch chats just like, yeah, we're playing with crypto.
Actually see that appreciation.
Hell yeah.
Numbers are just so
Oh my god.
ridiculous that you can't participate.
But growing the market for NFTs currently can come at some pretty large costs. Each transaction requires a ton of energy from computers all around the world, potentially resulting in increased carbon emissions. And although the Ethereum network is hard at work to reduce its overall energy consumption, it does remain to this day too high to support a scaled version of this model.
What we're starting to see technologically now is the need to advance the underlying tech so that you can have a business around the purchase and sale and trading of objects that are $1, $5, $20, $50.
That's partly why Mythical Games is using their own blockchain technology within their Mythical economic engine. But it's also because they believe that creating and selling an NFT game engine will help create more NFT games in the future.
What we set out to do at the very beginning was to build this economic engine to where we could ultimately have a lot of the top games in the world be able to access this type of technology, have the regulatory side covered, have access to marketplace tech, things that normal game studios wouldn't be building themselves. We think that this type of economy will really permeate through every
selling the infrastructure, not the asset itself.
Almost every game out there could have some version of this.
But building the technology is only the first step to building value. Gaming also offers another important step in this process: community.
Blockchain doesn't make a game better. We kind of joke here that if your game sucks without blockchain, it's going to suck with blockchain, right?
What makes this technology
Sucks to
powerful
suck.
and interesting is the ability to ignite a community. And if you build the right community, then the things you own, digital objects in a lot of cases, will be valuable within that community. And people are going to want to own them, and they're going to want to trade them amongst each other.
We've seen an amazing community form around Blankos. And even before the game came out, we had about $1 million of Blankos sold because players saw that value and they collaborated with each other. And we're excited by the outcome of where that could go.
Nice.
For someone outside of the Blankos community, it might seem outrageous to spend $5,000 on a virtual doll. Just like for many, it's outrageous to spend $69 million on this Beeple's piece.
I'll be the first to say that is ridiculous.
$120,000 on a banana duct taped to a wall.
Value for things that have no use value is entirely the result of perception. A Picasso is just oil paint on canvas. It's worth nothing. It does nothing. It is valuable because we as a society have decided that it's valuable. Could NFTs become a brief, weird piece of history? Absolutely. Could they become an integral part of the way that we engage with each other and companies online? Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
What do you think the future of NFTs is going to be?
Well, because companies have already poured quite a bit of money into it, I don't think it's gonna. As I said before, like I don't think it's gonna go away. But I do think that I think the market for NFTs will probably start to blow. I don't want to say blow up. Blow up's not the right word for it. It will start to really grow in just a few years. It's gonna take a little bit of time. Think about all the people who've become crypto millionaires in just the last year. You know, like there are a lot of people who are gaining these coins that don't have anything to spend them on. You made a point yesterday. I hope you don't mind me putting words into your mouth, but you were like, you bought the CryptoKitty also not only because it was just like you bought the CryptoKitty because you had the Ethereum, because you don't have many things to spend it on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
utility was finally there, is my whole thing about that.
Yeah. So it will take a little while before people, like you said, accessibility, the middle class needs to have their own crypto wallets. Like, it'll take that before this.
Normal for the middle class to have crypto wallets.
Precisely. I'm gonna bring in some music.
Gotcha. Also, I was gonna say, like, something that I feel like if it actually took off, it would bring NFTs to a new fucking light. Google glasses. Like,
yes.
That stuff rose and then burned out because it was just too expensive for the time. It was just too ahead of its time. But if they brought that back, then people, and it becomes accessible to everyone. People will be wearing their glasses like all the time, and then you can see other people's NFTs, and you can see like nameplates and like AR, like fashion and stuff like that. Like it would change everything if Google Glass just figured the fuck out.
It just came too early. That's the thing with Google Glass. I firmly believe
way too early.
It came in too early, and the market was just not ready to spend. I just realized it's not here either. The market is not ready to spend that. Look, the market doesn't have that kind of liquidity yet. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Now, what made me want to talk about this topic so badly, because I brought this up to Rheme. I was like, have you heard that the ranked number 36th streamer on this platform, Twitch, PayMoneyWubby, last week Wednesday, started his very first and one of the kind NFT, which is an MP4 of his uncleaned, unkept bathroom, where in said video you can see his toilet that has literal diarrhea in it. Okay? Now, he said at the very beginning, I wish I would pull up a clip, but I didn't do that kind of prep work, unfortunately. He said last week that, like, I recognize, and he said right to the camera, this is a scam. He literally did it because he's like, I just want to see if there's any crazy Oilers in my chat. Lo and behold, he was going into it thinking that he would make maybe a couple $100. Hell, when he did his big show, the Price is Scuffed, I think last month, somebody, I think on an eBay auction, spent a couple $100 on a pack of gum they just had on the craft service table that accidentally got mixed up with the stuff that they're auctioning off. So he was like, someone's only going to pay like maybe a couple $100 for this. But no. And if you direct your eyes to the screen, Rheme, this is I'm going to bring this up. This is the actual thing. The actual auction page. It sold last night. I was up pretty late. It sold last night for over $100,000. $100,000.
That's pretty insane.
And this was the exact moment the bid came through. Holy shit, indeed. See, I was in a VC with Lenny last night while I was watching this live. I was like, oh my god, 8,000. Oh my god, it just hit 10,000. 100.
Oh, yeah, when you showed it to me, it was like 5,600.
When I showed it to you, it was about $6,000. $100,000 $100,000 for a poopy toilet MP4. This market is not going away. This isn't going away, my friends. Is this art? I wish I had the video, but there's only one of the kind.
I feel like you really retain NFTs with being art. It doesn't have to be art, you know? It just has to be something.
It has to, yeah, it is.
Does that make sense?
Back to what
It just has to be something digital.
it does. Back to what chat said
Yeah,
like
necessarily
a while
art.
ago. It's all about context. It's all about context.
It's also about like intention.
It is.
Yeah.
Now, there is actually some controversy attached to this. So when the 100,000, because I watched this, when the $100,000 bid came through, the previous price right before that happened was $20,000, I believe, $20,000, and all of a sudden it hit 100,000, and understandably, I mean, you can see everybody's faces in the room. They just were in complete shock. They were in complete shock. Now, here's the thing. This $100,000, because it came from OpenSea, is better. OpenSea, for those who don't know, on top of Mintable, which is what this one is listed on top of Mintable, there is also another NFT site called OpenSea. So, what they speculated happened here is that someone from OpenSea dropped that 100,000 bid as a point to flex and put in an ad, because they knew that about 7,000 people live were watching this happen. So they speculate that this might have just been an ad, and that number isn't actually real. But here's where it gets kind of messy. In order to place a bid, you need to have that money in your crypto wallet. So we don't know if this number is actually correct. So it's going to take 3 days to process, but in 3 days we will find out whether or not this either sold for $100,000 or $20,000. But regardless of the, regardless of how this ends, he still sold a poopy toilet MP4 for $20,000. What are your thoughts on this, Rheme?
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, but again,
unbelievable shit.
You act like Wolvie is not known.
No, I know, but it's, bro, $20,000 for a fucking MP4 of poopy toilet. Am I not making myself clear? What is art?
Dude, no, dude, stop asking what is art.
I know.
If he was intending for it to be a scam, it's a fucking scam. It's not art.
So this isn't art. You don't consider this art.
If he didn't intend for it to be, it's also... Can I finish?
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
He didn't intend it for it to be art, and it wasn't taken as art. It was literally... He was being very upfront about it. I'm sure everyone that bid on this knew that it was a scam. So financially speaking, this is not art.
Hmm.
Yeah.
True. I mean,
but also...
It was a meme buy. Kind of like...
Go ahead?
It was, that's all I was going to say. It was a meme buy. Go on.
Exactly. And I would imagine if Wobby just keeps growing and gets bigger and bigger, then it'll be worth more. So whoever bought this, probably, if they have $100,000 worth of crypto, they probably understand that. They probably understand the fucking crypto market. So
True.
I feel like as soon as they make money, they could resell it to whoever wants to buy it next. Then finding that buyer is gonna be kind of weird.
That's
also,
true.
if you want to learn a lot about the chat, if you want to learn a lot about blockchain technology, it's OpenSea has a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where I read about a lot of blockchain stuff. It is wild.
It's wild. I
feel like I'm not that like like whoa about this, just because like I've seen some stupider shit
I
that
think
took much less to do, sell for more.
I hear you. I'm sure this is just the first. This just kind of, I don't want to say personally affects me, but this is the first time. I don't want to say that because it doesn't.
I took that shit in the toilet. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is like, this is the first time that I had ever seen it happen directly in front of me to a person that like I have been a fan of, and it's just like, I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to wrap my head around how this kind of ecosystem can even exist. Maybe I'm just slow on the times. I'm just barely grasping how these things happen, you know? It's like monopoly money to these people.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
real.
man.
What is that? Wow. Oh man. Artworks. Sorry, you were gonna read it. Go on.
Okay, I was like, okay, cool. I was totally okay with you taking the reign of that.
It's just that sorry, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop talking.
You're everywhere right now.
I'm stun locked.
You're everywhere right now.
I'm stun locked. I'm gonna just go on.
Artwork similarly to that. It's an investment you hope will increase with time. Yeah, definitely. But then you also got people that are using it to embezzle money to hide some assets that they didn't want the IRS to know about. You could also, it's really weird. It's definitely a very messy system. That honestly shouldn't be taken lightly, but it's also like you need to be able to understand that people that have money will be able to just keep making money on some stupid shit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, money to the upper class is just a tool to make more money. It's not. It's a completely different ballgame than the middle and the lower class.
It's like super taken out from everything else.
I know that this is a slippery slope saying this on Twitch because it's a very woke platform, but it's just true. Like it's a completely different ballgame, and the art world, the financial world, just our understanding of a lot of the infrastructure that we have traditionally come accustomed to is fundamentally changing right in front of our eyes, friends. What a time to be alive.
I mean, it's not a new concept, it's just a medium.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's a better framing device. It is a new medium. Just a new medium.
But it's incredible to see where it's been going. Like it goes from tangible to into non-tangible just like that. Wow. It literally took a year and everyone being bored at home.
It did. Oh,
like,
man.
I wonder what the first NFT was. Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know.
Sure, I can look that up.
Yeah, please do. Please do. What the flippy dippy?
Oh my bad. The first Nifty.
The first Nifty.
Let it be known, folks, it's pronounced Nifty.
It's not GIF, it's GIF. It's not
GIF.
ping, it's PNG. Have you ever heard somebody pronounce PNG like ping? That always throws me off. I'll hear my name read off in a chat, and they'll be like, "Thanks, PETEdotPNG." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's true. I know.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I have a lot of graphic designer friends, but we don't really talk about PNGs like that.
Well, is what it is. Did you find out what it is? What the first one is?
Yeah, it's Quantum by Kevin McCoy. You want to see it?
Quantum.
Let's show the chat. Yeah, let's show everyone.
Quantum by who?
I'm about to send you the.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Thank you for the link.
Yeah.
Okay, Remy's gonna get a little weird for a second in the thing, so I can get the link. Sorry. Oh my god. Y'all can actually y'all can see it a little bit. Hold on. What the frick? What the frick?
No, that wasn't it.
What did you send me? What is this then?
Go down.
Oh,
to the actual article.
Yes. Sorry. I was like, the hell? What is happening right now? Okay. Okay.
I was like, that's Quantum, but no, Quantum is much simpler.
Yeah. Here we go. The history of NFTs and how they got started. So let's take a look at this. For YouTube, I will link this in the bio. So link in the bio if you want to read all about this. I just want to see it. This is Quantum?
Yeah, Quantum.
Wow.
Trippy.
You know, does it say how much it sold for?
$7 million.
What? This hypnosis GIF sold for $7 million.
It's currently on sale for $7 million. I get why. It's historical. It's the first fucking Nifty, you know?
I agree. Just wow. I'm in the wrong business.
Honestly, man. Let's. You know what? You do NFTs. I'm busy.
Honestly, this is the perfect time to finally tell the people that this was a scam. Please buy our new NFT, Cockapoo Rheme. Let's fucking go. Go.
Cockapoo holding Jesus holding Rheme fucking NFT now available on OpenSea.
Now available on OpenSea.
Purchase starting bid 1 Ethereum.
Whoa! Whoa! 1 Ethereum? That's expensive as fuck.
It's only $4,242.85, dude.
You're right. What a steal. Any Oilers?
That's the starting bid.
Any Oilers in chat?
In the chat? If you are, don't bother buying Bitcoin. Just donate. Wait, let me see if the market's changed. Donate $4,242.85 to the channel, and we'll get you this weird picture that we don't actually own the rights to.
Buy it today. The Cockapoo Rheme NFT.
Today.
The first official one of its kind Sigmac NFT. Now available.
Chat, please don't call me Rem. And yeah, don't worry, Lenny. It's only the first bid. Don't fuck it. 1 Bitcoin. It's costing 1 Bitcoin. $60,685. Who wants it? Who the fuck wants it?
Sorry, I realized the reason why I called it Cockapoo Rheme is because that's the name of the file. I'm sorry. I know you don't like it when I call. I know you don't like it when I call you Rem. I'm sorry.
No, you're chill. Like these people.
You people.
We'll talk about this later.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
No, dude, it's not you.
I know.
Oh shit.
No, it's not actually for sale. It was just a meme.
It's not for sale.
It's not for sale.
Yeah. Totally a meme. So how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. And you know what, guys? That was the show.
That was the show. Thanks for hanging out.
Wow.
Yeah, we got confetti.
What a stream. What a show.
boys, girls, and everyone in between, thanks for watching Sigmac. You can follow us on our socials at sigmac.psd. And you can follow Peter at PETEdotPNG in all of his socials. And you can follow me. Just kidding. Don't follow me.
Don't do it.
I brought it back. Yeah, I brought it back. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Sigmac. Chat, if you want to, you can say bye, YouTube.
Yeah, now's your chance.
Now's your chance if you want to. I hope you guys learned something. I sure didn't. But
I did a little bit. YouTube.
Yeah. I hope everyone had a good time. I hope this wasn't too jarring in terms of the subject matter. We promise that this happened.
This happened.